Have you ever felt like ear training is way harder than it should be? Like no matter how many exercises you try, it just doesn't click the way it does for other musicians? That's because most musicians never take into account the 4 basic principles that make it impossible to practice ear training the wrong way. These are the same principles at the core of our unique ear training method and have transformed the ears of over 2,500 musicians, earned an excellent rating on Trustpilot, and are taught in top institutions like Wits University. In this video, I'll walk you through them so you can finally make sense of ear training and start improving right away. Stay for the 4th one, because it's the most impactful of all. But before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Most musicians think of ear training as one big skill, but like any complex ability, it's actually made up of multiple skills interacting together as a system. If even one of these sub-skills is weak, your whole ear training can easily fall apart. For example, short-term musical memory. Can you actually remember a short melody long enough to analyze it? Without memory first, recognition is impossible. Tonic retention. Can you keep the tonic in your head without it drifting away? If not, and your sense of key frequently collapses, you'll get lost every time. Note analysis. Once you've remembered a melody, can you decode which scale degrees it used? Chord analysis. Can you decode which chords are playing in real time? This might seem similar to note analysis, but the mental process used here is actually different. These examples are just for you to understand the first fundamental pillar, which is train all the ear training sub-skills. We've seen students who were already good musicians suddenly level up dramatically in just weeks, simply because they started putting 100% of their effort into fixing the specific sub-skill that was the bottleneck for them. Okay, now let's move on to a very common and painful truth. If you're still practicing isolated intervals, you're practicing music in a way that doesn't actually exist. Music lives in tonality. Songs have a key, a gravitational center, and every note and chord sounds and feels a certain way because of its relation to that key. That's why the same C major chord can feel completely resolved if the song is in the C major key and completely unstable and tense if the song is in the F major key. So the second fundamental pillar is follow a tonal approach. This means that instead of asking, what's the interval between these notes? You should ask, how does this note or chord feels? And what role does it play inside the tonality? That shift from intervals to tonal context is what allowed me to start improving after years of complete stagnation. And it's also what science shows. Studies by researchers like Krumansel, Butler, and Brown prove that our brain naturally organizes sounds around a tonal center, not as isolated distances. Here's a simple exercise you can try instead of practicing intervals. Take a simple nursery rhyme. Try to sing the tonic note, the note that feels like home, and hold it in your head as the melody moves. That ability to stabilize the tonality is far more valuable than memorizing 100 intervals. If you still don't understand why, no offense, but that's why you're stuck in ear training. We've shared many more in-depth exercises on our channel, so don't forget to subscribe. So far, we've covered the tonal approach and the hidden sub-skills. But none of this matters unless you apply it in the one place where ear training becomes real. Ear training exercises are not the finish line, they're the warm-up. The real growth happens when you apply your skills to actual songs. This is why the third fundamental pillar is apply skills to real music. Exercises are like weightlifting. They isolate one muscle at a time. But real music is the sport. You need to combine everything at once. That's why we encourage students to start working on simple songs as soon as their basics are solid, which usually happens after a couple of months of following our full method. And here's the key. The songs you choose must match your level. If you can't yet pick out Twinkle Twinkle Little Star by ear, don't expect to transcribe a crazy complex jazz piece. Practicing ear training on real music is so important that we even built an app that helps you do exactly that. Here's a quick walkthrough. When you open the app, you'll see a growing library of songs across all kinds of genres: pop, rock, country, folk, and more. Every song has a difficulty rating from 1, easiest, to 5, most difficult. You can practice either recognizing melodies or recognizing chord progressions. For melodic recognition, you just select the melodic part you want to work with and click play. The melodic phrases are already split for you. You don't need to pause, rewind, or do anything else. Just hit play, listen to the melody, and then enter the notes by tapping on the piano keys. The scale degrees are labeled on the piano keys. The app lets you see the correct answer and compare it with yours to identify the mistakes. This instant feedback is essential for fast progress, since you can quickly spot and learn from your mistakes right away. All songs have their chord part available to recognize. Each blob represents a chord. You just drag the blob onto the scale degree you think it belongs to. If needed, you can also change the chord type, for example, switching from a major to a minor chord, or any other type of chord. And if you need it, you can also adjust the inversion position of each chord. Also in this case, you can see and listen to the correct answer and compare it to your answer to quickly see your mistakes and improve faster. Check the link in the description to download our app. It comes with 4 free songs you can practice with right away. And since some of you have asked for clarification, let me clear this up. At this moment, our app is just a tool to practice ear training on real songs. It does not yet include our full method. Instead, it's a complementary tool that supports it. So before I talk about the 4th fundamental pillar of ear training, let me share this. If you want to know more about the method itself, the best step you can take is to join our free workshop. In just a couple of hours, you'll discover what is your current ear training level, which exercises actually work based on that, and which ones you should avoid. Thousands of musicians have already used it to transform their ear training, and it's completely free for now. Click the link in the description and register today. That said, earlier I mentioned that there are multiple ear training skills, and that was only part of the truth. The full truth is that they also develop in a very specific order. It's literally like a roadmap with clear stages. So the 4th fundamental pillar is follow the natural step-by-step process. Every advanced ability, like recognizing chords and notes instantly, depends on more basic skills that must come first in the roadmap. If you skip those, you'll stay stuck no matter how much you practice. We actually made an entire video diving deep into this, showing you exactly which skills to build first, second, third, and so on. If you haven't watched it yet, click here to watch it next. It'll make everything else in this video 10 times clearer.